Hello and welcome to our webinar. I'm Sherilyn Castleman, and I'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining Visibility Trumps Ability, Sharpening Your Competitive Edge in the Time of COVID-19. So let's kick off by doing a poll. There's a poll in front of you, and every professional woman needs to have a pitch, now more than ever. Whether you're looking for a new job, building your business, or trying to manage a job you have, it's important to have a pitch in your pocket. So check all that apply for you. Whether you're asking for a promotion, a raise, you want to work remotely, or you just want to keep the job that you have. Maybe you're in the market for a job. Right now, as you probably know, the job market is flooded with well-crafted resumes and stellar LinkedIn profiles. It helps to make sure that once you get a phone interview or a screening, how do you stand out from the pack? And that's with a solid personal pitch. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how do you bring your resume to life with a powerful pitch? How do you animate your LinkedIn profile? How do you help the hiring manager know that they made the right choice by picking your resume out of the pile? Maybe you're a sidepreneur or a solopreneur, and you just it's just like being a professional saleswoman. Whether you're looking for customers, you want Kickstarter funding, resources, or just to get in front of new people. You want people to want to know, why should I buy? Why should I buy from you? And why should I buy from you now? So let's, one second here. So let's see how the results came out. You can see here that about half of us are here because we want to pitch to current customers. Mm-hmm. Actually, the greatest, also half of us are here because we want to ask for a raise or a promotion. Ooh. And about 20% want to take on new responsibilities, are looking for a job, or be pitching to vendors. So again, thank you for joining. I mentioned I'm Sherilyn Castleman, and I hope that you and your families are doing okay during this current state of affairs. As you begin to go back to work, I want you to stay safe, healthy, well, and sane. One of the things that I learned early in my career is that if you criticize people, you raise their defensiveness, and if you challenge someone, you raise their game. So Precious and I challenge you to challenge us today. In the chat box, let us know what we're doing well. Let us know what we can do better. We also will be taking questions. So at the bottom of your screen is a Q&A. So what we're asking you to do is, if you have any questions, jot those in there. And at the end of the session, you'll be given a chance to learn about how you can work with Precious, how you can work with me, or how you can work with Sisters in Sales. And that will be at the end of the webinar. Let me just here take one more poll real quickly, because Precious and I would love to know who's in the audience today. So can you take a second and tell us a little bit about whether you're in professional sales, whether you're a business development account exec, an SDR, whether you're an entrepreneur, a sidepreneur, in that you're both professional sales and you have a side hustle, or everybody else here who's learning how to pitch, we're all in a sales position. So thank you for taking this one more poll. And I'm going to end this and see here, Precious, that we're about 30% of professional sales, 30% are account management, okay, and about 13% are entrepreneurs or sidepreneurs. Okay. All right. So now we know who we're talking today. So I thank you again. I'm Sherilyn Castleman. I am head of education and growth for Sisters in Sales. And on behalf of Sisters in Sales, we want to thank you for being here today. Sisters in Sales is a community of women of sales professionals who network, advance their careers, and most importantly, like we are here today, we have a chance to network and find our sisterhood. I'm also the managing partner for CGI, which is the premier coaching provider for women of color sales professionals. And women turn to me when they want to become exceptional sellers or they want ideas for quick wins for some of their biggest deals. I have over 20 years of executive leadership and enterprise sales experience, and my coaching practice is grounded in a strength framework built around the unique experiences and strengths of women of color. And my goal is to cultivate the next generation of women executives and professionals. I am joined today by Precious Williams. I met Precious Williams last year at a LinkedIn women's event, and I was absolutely blown away by her energy, her knowledge, and her authenticity. You're in for a real treat today. Precious is the 13-time National Business Elevator Pitch Champion. 13 times she won that contest. She's been on top television shows for pitching, branding, and professional speaking. She was even featured on season 8 of ABC's Shark Tank. She's been in Forbes magazine, on CNN, ABC, MSNBC, Wall Street Journal, and even in the movie Leap, just to name a few. In 2019, she became a best-selling author of the book Bad Bitches with Power Pitches. And just so you know, Precious will be sending this book out to all Sisters in Sales members who are joining us today, as well as she will be sending this out to all Sisters in Sales who are on the webinar today, as well as anybody who asked a question. So if you ask a question in the chat box, you will be eligible to have Precious send you her book. Precious is a graduate of Spelman College and Rutgers School of Law, and she lives in Brooklyn, New York. So join me in welcoming Precious Williams. Precious?
Thank you, Sharpen. My name is Precious Williams. I'm so excited to be here with all of you right now. I'm ready to jump out of my seat right now. So I know that you all, and we all are experiencing being in a pandemic, in an economic downturn and social unrest. With all of that, people are struggling with, they lost their jobs. They're trying to get a better job. Their sales have dried up. Their coaches, their consultants, their entrepreneurs, and their speakers, and everything seems to have just gone all over the place. And so that is where I come in. So ladies, raise your hands if you want to be a bad bitch with a power pitch. Raise your hands. And if you can't raise your hands, type a 1 in the comments so I know that you're right here with me.
So in the chat
and
box,
as you're doing
type
that,
a 1
type a 1 in the comments.
Yeah, in the chat box.
That's how I know we're all in the right place. So again, my name is Precious Williams. I'm the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. And as a 13-time National Elevator Pitch Champion, it is my pleasure to be here today to share with you how to ignite your pitch and dominate your niche. So for all of us, we're going through hard times right now. And I don't want you to ever get it in your mind that nothing can work. That's why we're talking about today about how visibility trumps ability. You may be feeling right now like you don't want to get out there. No one's buying. And I'm here to tell you that is not true. The more visible you are, the more you get out there, the more that you show people that you're positive and that first of all, you're here to make an impact, and you're also here to make sales. This is Sisters in Sales, for God's sakes. This is Sisters in Sales. So I didn't want to do a regular PowerPoint presentation. I wanted to give it to you real and raw, right? Can I do that? And if you like that, type a 2 in the comments so I know that we're all right here. We're right here.
So actually, Precious, I just found out that the chat box is not working. The Q&A is. So just raise your hand. Your hand raising is open. So if you're following Precious, raise your hand. Thank you.
Yes, please. I didn't know, girl. I didn't know.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, other than just visibility trumping ability, is really asking the question of why do you think so many people are shying away from really delighting in their brilliance and showing the world what makes them who they are? Now, as an international professional speaker, the killer pitch master, a serial entrepreneur, my goal is to help you, and I'm hired by Fortune 500 companies, top nonprofits, foundations, executives, entrepreneurs, and speakers to help them be booked and busy, to help them become corporate trainers, and to really help you get the VIP prospects and turn them into clients. How do we do that? With a killer elevator pitch, media pitch, investor pitch, interview pitch, and with a speaker pitch. So today I want you to ask me questions. I want this to be sort of kind of interactive, even though I can't really tell because I can't see, but I want this to be interactive. I want you to feel like you're learning something. So one of the ways I want to talk about how you bring visibility to the marketplace is we all know about social media. And a lot of people will post about what food they're eating, stuff like that. Are you posting content? Are you really getting out there? Are you doing Facebook Lives? Are you giving your audience an opportunity to really get to see you in action? One of the things that I love doing is a Facebook Live or LinkedIn Live. Yes, I'm a LinkedIn content creator now. So you're about to start seeing me do those videos that you see in LinkedIn Learning. You're about to start seeing me do that for elevator pitching. But I want to know who is doing Facebook Lives, who is doing LinkedIn Lives, who is really getting out there and wants tips and tricks and techniques to know how to do that very, very well.
So you know, Precious, Amelia said she has the chat box is now open. I didn't realize I had to just, she says LinkedIn Lives are fun. You can see the chats.
I can see it now.
Okay.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes.
All right.
So the chat box is open, y'all. So I want to see some ones, some twos, and I want y'all to ask me questions. Let's get it. So for me, Facebook Live, I don't get on there just to, hi, I'm Precious Williams. I'm so delighted to be here with you today. No, I want them to feel my energy and my intensity. I love what I do. Who in this room loves what they do? Sales. Okay, look, that's what I'm talking about. Put the hands up, put the hands up, raise your hands, put a 1 in the comments. If you love what you do, no matter what's going on around you, this is what that's what I'm talking about. Start putting it in the comments. So one of the biggest things that you can do is stop being perfect. Stop being perfect. Show people who you really are. And you might be thinking, oh, well, you know, they want me to be like this. You have to give your audience a show. And so give them a glimpse into who you are. If you've ever watched my LinkedIn Lives, if you've ever watched my Facebook Lives, I'm giving real content, but I'm asking my audience, what do they really want? What challenges are they really dealing with? Why? Because that informs how I approach them. I come up with different ideas and offers for them based on their challenges. So again, we're going back to visibility trumps ability, right? So you might be saying, oh, there's so many great people out there. They've been doing it for years. And you know what? They're not visible right now. So that is why you're going to use social media. That's why you do Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, stories, all of that. Because you want people when people are thinking about something, you're top of mind. When they go into Facebook groups and they're looking for someone in particular, what do? I need a copywriter. I need someone in sales to help me. You know what? My company is looking for account executives. You want people to be thinking of you first because you might not see it, but someone around you may see it, right? So that is how you lose social media. Like some people are going to tell you Facebook ads. I'm not talking about ads. I'm not talking about you spending money. I'm talking about you spending your time doing something wisely. So use social media to become more visible. What is the number one pain point that your audience is struggling with? What is keeping them up at night? Are you providing a new way for them to get the clients that they want? Are you bringing in the sales, the revenue that they need? Are you already light years ahead because you can see where they need to go and they have no idea? When I started off as the killer pitch master, which I didn't know I was, y'all know I started off with less than $400. I had a negative $400. I had negative $400 in my bank account when I did my first pitch. Negative $400. My company was Curvy Girls Lingerie. No, we weren't registered. No, it was just an idea in my mind. And I had the audacity, you heard what I'm saying? Audacity to pitch myself to MSNBC producers. Why did I do that? Because everybody kept telling me I was too fat, too black, no Ivy League degree, even though I have a law degree. People kept saying, you'll never get on television because I was 327 pounds. I had a company called Curvy Girls Lingerie in my mind. And people said, you'll never get on TV. Yes, it's before Lizzo, it's 2011, 2012. This is before Ashley Graham was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. What did I have to do? One of the things I always teach people, always. How do you win a no-win situation? You have to rewrite the rules. We're in the midst of 3 big things happening right now. So if you've been introducing yourself, hi, I'm such and such, I'm a graphic designer. Hi, I'm such and such, I'm a sales exec. Hi, I'm such and such. Throw it out the window. What did Nicki Minaj say? Put it up flat screen. We're done with that. I want you to be thinking about yourself in a totally different way. You're a sales professional. You're looking for a raise. You're looking for promotions. I have a queen right now who's one of my clients. She has a thing called damn the praise, where's the raise? Think about that. Yeah, she just said something like, oh, Precious, I'm coming to Precious because I want to teach them how to get the right promotions. Girl, this ain't about the humble brag. Damn the praise, where's the raise? Where do you think that came from? The killer pitch master. Think about it. When you change your language, you change the game. So if you know what their main pain points are, main pain point is, or the additional ones, start thinking about a different way of approaching them about it. Everybody's going to come and say, oh, you need more clients. Oh, you need more sales. Trust me. But if you come at them with a startling question, if you come at them with a statistic that'll blow their mind, if you start dropping a set of books because you want all eyes on you, like Tupac, think about that. Why do I say visibility trumps ability? Why do you think that people call on me from the government to Fortune 500 companies? Is because I think differently about pitching. Pitching is something you do every freaking day. When you're talking to your friend about that no good man and no good woman too, could be. Or the job you don't want, the job you have, the job you want, let me tell you something, you're pitching. So think about pitching as an everyday occurrence. Y'all, let's get real in these streets. Let's get real. And I want to see it too in the comments if you're enjoying this presentation, and start asking questions, because I'm going in today. I'm going in. So that was number one. So we talked about visibility trumps ability, right? We're talking about number one, utilizing social media to get out there. The free social media. I'm not asking you to spend money on ads. I'm asking you to ask your network, what are their challenges? Because the minute you understand their challenges from their perspective, not your perspective, their perspective, you can craft the right language that you know is going to zero right in. Now, I know the name of my book is Bad Bitches and Power Pitches. Y'all know some people got a problem with the title, right? Some people got a problem. Do you think I'm concerned? No, because they're not my audience. So again, when you're coming up with a pitch, who is your audience? This is not Susie Homemaker. This is a woman who's unapologetically who she is. She's probably over 40. Y'all know what time it is. You in transition. You've already been successful. Now it's time to step your game up and unleash what people have never seen before out of you. So number two, let's talk about it. You need to start asking your network for opportunities each and every day. So you might be saying, Precious, what does that mean? What does that mean? I mean, start making the big ask. Start making the big ask. So you're saying, Precious, I'm afraid, I don't want to look like I ain't got it going on. Really? All of us could use help now. As sales professionals, there's someone who's killing it out there. You can model yourself after them, or you can ask for help. You can do both if you want to. So why do you think I started showing up more and more and more? So I became a part of different networks, right? So you see Sisters in Sales. You got great women in the room right now who have a wealth of experience. Becoming a part of this network, other networks of people who are actually doing things, not the $20 and $30 at night events. No. I'm asking you to step your game up and be in the room with heavy hitters. And you might be saying, well, it may be too soon. Well, if you start developing relationships now, it is never too soon to make the big ask. So think about it. This year, I became a part of Master Network, C-Suite Network. So, and I said, I want to be a part of networks that I'm going to grow with. And from the first time I pitched, raise your hands if you want to be a bad bitch with a power pitch, I was unconcerned about the people who didn't care or who were offended. Because you know what? Even men were shocked I had the audacity, and they started working with me because they were like, that's what I need. I don't need the cookie cutter salesperson. I don't need the cookie cutter PR. I need someone who can cut through the BS and make it pop. Do you hear what I'm saying? So when we talk about the big ask and having visibility trumps ability, the reason why is because I'm unapologetic, and I don't need you all to be, I want you all to be unapologetic too. Sometimes you'll see my memes, sometimes you'll see my gifts that'll have a curse word in it. Like once in a while, blow your own damn mind. Never apologize for being a powerful effing woman. Why? Because it's going to attract the right woman. And trust me, she's an executive. Trust me, she's successful. Trust me, she's scared right now because she's played it safe too long. She's played it safe too long. And now she sees someone who is unafraid to go out there and go get it. What is that song? Go get your blessing. Right. This is a blessing. The pandemic is a blessing right now. The social unrest, economic downturn, it's a blessing because it's reshaping sales. Can you make sales in a time like this? Can you make sales in a time like this? And I'm challenging you to say, yes, you can. So I want to see in the comments, are y'all enjoying this? Put a 3 in the comments. If you have questions, drop them like it's hot. Drop them like it's hot.
Precious?
Yes.
We do have one question.
Okay.
I was going to say, why don't we take you want to take it now, or do you want to go about 5 more minutes and then we can...
Let's go about 5 more minutes and then we'll take an accounting of the questions.
Okay.
Okay. And okay, so again, when we talk about the big ask, and we're on number 2 right now, asking your network for opportunities and making that happen every day. There are women on this call that I could call on right now, or 2 o'clock in the morning, and say, hey, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? And you know what? They will. Why? Because they know I'll do the same. And that comes from building relationships. That comes from, just like y'all, sometimes you'll get gifts in the mail because people can't believe that you showed up and cared enough to be with them at their worst. There are people who aren't making sales right now because they're too afraid. They're afraid of rejection. And y'all know, we've been doing this a long time, but no one's encountered 3 things all happening at the same time. So it's stressing women out. It's stressing y'all out. You're not alone. I'm not going to lie to y'all. When this all started, I was in Halifax, Nova Scotia at International Women's Day. I was speaking in Canada. When I tell you, I came back and the city, New York, just kind of shut down, right? And people are like, you're not going to have any more customers. You know what that made me do? That made me hungry. That made me hungry. Hangry. Because they made me, they said I can't make it. They said as a Black woman, a curvy Black woman, I ain't going to get it. They said, hey, she ain't got straight hair. She ain't going to get it. They say, hey, she not thin. She ain't got 6-pack abs. She ain't going to make it. Let me tell you something. In order for McDonald's to be where they are, they need a Burger King. But now, sisters, we're not McDonald's and Burger King, are we? No, we're Craig's and Nobu. We taking it to LA. We elevated in this game. So you know what? To get to the level of these big time companies and corporations, and remember, that's what you are. You're that in the making. You're not McDonald's and Burger King. That was when you started. Now you're grinding and you're going up that ladder. So when somebody tells you you can't do something, pop your collar. It's about to be done. So make your big ask. Do you know why I got NBC Universal, or what my client is flying out for Shark Tank? Why is she flying out for season 12 of Shark Tank? She could have went with somebody who looks nothing like me. Nothing like me. But she chose me. Why? Well, of course, I've been on Shark Tank, but also because she knew that the only way I got on Shark Tank is because I was different. So I want you to embrace difference. You know what most people are doing right now? Sitting at home, Netflixing it out. I refuse to Netflix. Okay, until late night, y'all. Okay. But in the daytime, I'm out here sending LinkedIn pitches. I'm out here calling my peeps. I'm out here working the network. I'm out here, and now the network is just sending things like clockwork. Oh, Precious, you need somebody to talk about communication skills. Well, I know my girl Precious does pitching, but you know what? She good at communicating from the highest of the high to the lowest of the low. Let me put you on game with her. That's how it works. If you keep asking, momentum moves forward. Slow progress is progress, y'all.
Right.
So anyway, I just want y'all to hear me when I say this. And Sherilyn, let me know when we come to that 5-minute mark, okay?
Okay. We got 2 minutes.
And make sure when you're making your big ask, this is very critical, sisters in sales, critical. Have your credentials in place. Have your credentials in place. If you have a speaker one, or if you have, all the things that you've done, if you have your accomplishments, have them all in one place. Because when they start asking you for things, bam, you got it on, bam, like Essence of Emerald, bam, that's what you do. You just drop it like it's hot on them. People are like, I just got booked for Ohio National Insurance Company. Like, I'm speaking there on September 1st, right? They were like, oh, well, do you have a media kit? I was like, with pleasure. They're like, do you have a speaker one? I said, when you need it. They're like, do you have your 1099? Do you have everything that we need for? I was like, listen, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. So when you're talking to your trusted network, have everything in place. If they need a swipe copy, if they need to know what to say in their warm introduction, have it for them, because you making it easy for them. Visibility trumps ability. Why somebody, what Cheryl Wood always says this: be ready so you don't have to get ready.
Right.
The first time somebody asks, that means you need to have it all in place for the next time. Do you hear what I'm saying? Have your credentials, your accomplishments, your achievements, your talents, your skill sets, your abilities, your fun facts, have them all in place, because that's how you set the game in motion.
Absolutely.
And so I feel like I should stop at that point.
Okay.
Is this a good time?
This is a perfect time, Precious. Thank you. So
Okay.
we do have several questions. Aisha wants to know, how did you get to the place where you were unapologetic, or were you always this way?
Girl, let me not lie to y'all. I ain't gonna tell you I was always this way. Come on now. No. I'm from the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri. I grew up with parents who did not want me. So that always left me with a chip on my shoulders. And, my mom always told me, you're ugly, you're stupid, nobody's ever gonna want you. But I'm gonna tell you what that did in me. It's so crazy to say this. Because I never believed I was beautiful, my personality had to shine. So I developed the personality. I developed the skills that most people think don't work. I developed soft skills. I know how to enter any conversation. I don't care between the highest of the highest to the lowest. I know how to do it.
Okay.
So not only that, when I started getting older and older, I started realizing that society has a way of browbeating women, especially Black women. No matter how successful you are, you don't deserve.
Right.
And I decided I do deserve. And as Sherilyn knows, 3 years ago, I was homeless. I went through a very difficult time. As high as I was, I lost everything when the love of my life died. The inspiration for Curvy Girls Lingerie, became a severe alcoholic. And I can tell you all of that with no shame. Do you hear any shame in my voice? I'm not ashamed. And that's where it comes from, because God gave me a second chance, because he said, it ain't over. It's just begun. I took everything away from you. Now you got nothing but me. And I believe in everything that he says, and the vision he puts forward. He said, I wrote a poem, and maybe when this is over, if you hear the poem, you'll understand my purpose. And it's to make sure that women fly beyond their wildest dreams in business and life. And as she walks that stage, I'm right beside her, holding her hand in eternity. That's why my dash matters. Between the day I was born to the day that I die, it's got to be to support women, especially Black women, because there's no support. And when we get together, we're magic. So have I always been this way? No. But when I almost lost my life on January 22nd, 2017, and he gave me my life back. When I walked out of the Bowery Mission Women's Center, I knew what I was supposed to do. And that's when I became unapologetic.
Very nice. Thank you, Precious. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Shannon asked, how were you able to get more comfortable making your big ask to your network? It's such a challenge for her to find those words or even know what to ask. So how do you ask, Precious?
So, when I started asking this year too, so you were like, oh, for real? You've been doing this all? No, let me tell you something. So I remember, you know how like when you start off, you got your network and you're happy with it. But when you become the bright light in your network, that's a problem, because that means everyone comes to you.
Right.
And I knew I had to change my network, which means I had to change my approach.
Okay.
So even though I can give great pitches, I had to be able to learn the lay of the land. Who has power? Who got the juice? Who got the sauce, right? And then when I started to see that, I knew that I had to be strategic about how I moved. When I started speaking upstate, I said, I'm going to change this, because no one looked like me up there. So even though I was the keynote speaker at certain events, I said, now I'm going to ask the big ask. And so I would give a great presentation. And at the end, I would say, this is my big ask. It would be even in the presentation. So for those who needed to look at it, they could see it. And I would ask for warm introductions to Fortune 100 companies. I would ask for opportunities to speak at women's conferences, summits, or whatever, to talk to the leaders, not the minions, the leaders. And you know what people started doing? Women started doing, especially who look nothing like me. They were like, I got somebody for you. Hey, we've been looking for a speaker too. Oh my God, you're so good. And I was like, so that warm introduction, thanks. And they would be like, yeah, okay. And they would give me their cards. I was like, I'm gonna take your card. but I also am charging you with contacting me too. If I contact you, contact me back. You know why I'm here. And that's how I did it. And I kept doing it, and it would go over like a crowd pleaser because people could see it. And again, when you're talking to your friends, that's one thing. When you start talking to associates, they will shock you more than anybody else because they'll be the first to get on it because no one knows how to help you until you ask.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Precious. We've got quite a few questions coming in.
Okay.
So, Geraldine is new in sales and wants to know, what advice do you have someone who's just starting out in sales? So when you're just starting out, where do you begin?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Geraldine, if you don't have a support network now, you need to. If you're not a member of Sisters in Sales, you need to be a member. I promise you. I can call on Sherilyn.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You can ridiculous call at hours of the night that I go in, right?
Yes.
So think about this. Since you're new to sales, the more you're around people who are doing it and can point you in the right direction, and don't forget this, my queen, put in the time and effort it takes to learn sales. Put in the time and effort. If people are telling you to read a certain book, if they're telling you to go on YouTube and learn some innovative techniques that you don't see on TV or on Shark Tank or anything like that, do it. Do it. I want you to carve out time in your morning. Listen, I get up at 4:30 in the morning. So I carve out time to be like this. Oh, word? That's dope. Okay. Invest in yourself. Even if you only got a couple coins, invest in yourself because that's you can't get away from education. But build your support network. I don't care if these people aren't in sales, because the people who aren't will appreciate that you're learning and you're coming to them with a specific ask. So don't forget about Sisters in Sales. Don't forget about the leaders here. Don't forget about the other sisters here. We all want to see you succeed. And also, and this is for everyone, no one is above you. No one. You can reach out by email or social media. Build a rapport. Come to the table with something and not just, can you help me? What can you come to the table with? And that'll help too.
Absolutely.
Geraldine, thank you.
Yeah, you made a good point, Precious. One of the things that I learned early in my career, what I call the 3 C's. In sales, you have to be competent, and you hit that right on the head. You've got to have the skills. If you don't have them, read, learn, listen, attend these webinars. Number 2 is competence. And how you get that confidence is doing exactly what Precious says, practicing it till you own it. And the 3rd C is caring. Give a damn. Yes. Give a damn about your customers, give a damn about your community, give a damn about your family. If you have the 3 C's, competence, caring, and competence, you can be successful in sales. So let's move on. Tamika asked, what are some tips for staying focused on your elevator pitch story for a new job and communicating to a higher level?
Okay, so is that 3 questions or one?
So it's one question. She said, what is tips for staying focused for your elevator pitch when you're in a new job and you want to communicate up to the higher level?
Okay, so that goes back to my girl, Yolanda Cornelius says, damn the praise, where's the raise? So one of the things I want you to pay attention to, so of course, elevator pitching is really, writing it out. Hopefully you're working with someone, but even if you're not, is learning the basics of an elevator pitch. Who you are, what you do, who you serve. I hope you're writing this down, young lady. Who you are, what you do, who you serve, some results in working with you, a powerful call to action. What is your secret sauce? That's basic that's a basic elevator pitch. And just start working around it. Just start working around it, saying it in different ways and stuff like that. The way you stay focused is making it a daily assignment to work on your pitch. Your daily assignment. In addition to when you're talking to superiors, I think that's what you're saying to me. When you're talking to superiors, always have in your back pocket your humble brag, always, right? So as they're talking, whatever, just drop a little tea on them about something you did in the past. That's kind of impressive. Just drop a little tea on them, because a lot of times I see Black women and we will work so hard and nobody knows what we do. Nobody. They just think, oh, she's amazing. What does she do? She did the work of 3 people and nobody knew it.
Yep.
So drop that humble brag on them. Drop that humble brag. And then, as much as you look at them as superiors, as much as you look at them as superiors, and maybe one day you'll be there, or maybe you'll be doing your own thing, understand this: no one is above you. And as long as you keep your focus on absorbing, taking into everything that you're seeing, and learning the lay of the land, like you're playing chess. Learn who's in the corner pocket. Learn who you should be rocking with and who you shouldn't. And that's not something you learn on the first day. That's something you sit back and observe. You don't always have to talk in the beginning, because you know, as sisters, we will. You don't always have to talk in the beginning. Learn the lay of the land. And when you're ready, start approaching your superiors from a position of power, because you've learned the lay of the land. Not from entitlement, which I don't think Black women do, but I am saying, not from the entitlement. You are grateful to be there, but you're not grateful in a sense that you don't belong there. That's how I would approach it.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great. I love what you said about, approaching it from a position of power, and you said, and not entitlement and just talking. I don't know, men speak about 7,000 words a day. Do you know how many words a day women speak? 20,000. We speak 3 times as much. And sometimes we get in a room, we got to learn to listen. And so yes. I think for your first 90 days, listening is critical. It is so important. It is so important to be an empathetic listener. So let's take one more question, and then we'll move on, and then we'll take the rest of the questions at the end.
Sure.
So one of the things that I see that Condra is asking, and I'm getting this from a lot of my clients, women who were powerful, feeling like they could, from birth, could talk to anybody, sell anything, and all of a sudden in this climate, they're feeling quiet. How do you get that back? And I'm hearing this. It was clients I'm coaching, and saying, Sherilyn, I used to be top of the leaderboard. I used to sell, and now I'm timid, and I'm cautious. How do you get that back during these current times?
I'm so glad that this question has come up, because it's come up in different ways today. I'm so glad you said that. I'm going to say something that may sound a little controversial, but do you want to know where I got my attitude from?
Yes.
I used to watch men who look nothing like me, how they operate.
Okay.
And so whether they knew the answer, whether they were the greatest at anything, they always charged full steam ahead. Even if they didn't know what they were doing, they had this confidence that no matter what, first of all, we serve a good God. And if he put a vision and an image in your mind, you can be like everybody else and get treated like everybody else. Or you can decide to go against the grain. Yeah, your natural inclination is, oh, everybody's hurting, everybody's stressed, everybody's this. But take in mind, some people aren't stressed right now because they live for moments like this. They live for experiences like this. Listen, we've been to hell and back as people, as women. We've had to overcome nightmarish situations where the whole world wasn't going through it.
Right.
If we did it before, we can do it again. And this time, you have sisters in sales behind you. This organization wasn't created just, she's already got it going on. It was built for times like this. Absolutely. When everyone seems to be struggling. And I keep throwing up sisters in sales, not just because I'm speaking, but just because this is an organization that understands that when times get tough, times don't last, but tough people do. So as you're developing your thick skin, you can choose to be average, random, or ordinary, or you can be extraordinary. So go over this feeling of nothing's going to work, to know that there are people making more money now than they ever had before and having a bigger impact than they ever had before. When I say being visible, it's not about commiserating or watching the news and seeing what's bad. What's actually going right now? What's actually going good? Are you alive? Do you have the ability to write your own paycheck at times? Yes. Yes. You might have lost your job, and that might have been the greatest thing that ever happened to you because you're so busy looking at the back door and the front door just opened. Do you know when I walked out of the Bowery Mission Women's Center, there was no hope for me. I came to live in my pastor's house, which, let's be clear, big house in Brooklyn. And I went to work. I lived in a room. Now, mind you, I'm 38, 39, 40, 38 years old, 39 years old. And now I'm in a 2-bedroom. and I'm in New York. You know what I'm saying? So you do work with what you have to get to where you need to go. Do not let people infect your mind with the negativity. And I'm not talking about toxic positivity. I'm saying, like Clark Atlanta, I'll find a way or make one. I got too many people. I got a legacy. And that's what Sisters in Sales is about. So you keep coming back and you keep getting this love. That tough love, but that love nonetheless that's going to say, get your butt in gear, putting them big girl panties. I don't care if they have a hole in them. Put them on and let's roll.
I love it. Okay. So I'm going to hold the rest of the questions to the end and give you a chance to finish your message.
Right.
You have some real great nuggets there that you want to share with us. I am, again, thrilled that you're here. And so I'm gonna let you do that, and then we'll get back to questions. So again, if you have questions for Precious, drop it in the Q&A. And remember, by dropping a question in the Q&A, Precious will also be sending you one of her books after the webinar. So, and the book are Compliments of Sisters in Sales.
Compliments of Sisters in Sales.
Yes, they are.
Better believe it. Better believe it. Okay.
Go ahead. Thank you.
So this is going to be a series of questions that may sound rhetorical, but I want you to be thinking about it because they're going to help you. Let me ask you this question. First off and foremost, do people really know what you do? You may think they do, but do they really know what you do? As a sales professional, do they know what you specialize in? Do they know what you sell? Do they know what it is you actually do on a daily basis? You'd be surprised to know that a lot of people don't, because you might not be saying it on social media. You might not be saying it in general conversation. You'll assume people know if you work at IBM or something. People don't know. People don't know how to utilize you because they don't know. They don't even know the kind of content that's inside of you, the experience you have inside of you, because you're not putting it out there. By assuming that people know, you won't have clients, which is why content creation is key. I'm not asking you to put together a social media calendar that has, but I am asking you to pick a theme for the month and go with it. What aspect of sales? What aspect of marketing? Whatever you come to the table with, throw something out there on a weekly basis. Something that's personal, but also something that's professional. The reason why is because you'll see people change on how they approach you. I promise you, when you give that critical advice, critical content, like some things just give away. Some of your greatest things just give away. You want to know why? Because people don't know how to use it anyway. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
Most people don't know how to do what you do. You can say, oh, here's the top 5 secrets to sales mastery. Okay. They sitting there listening. They're like, and then when they look up, they be like, they go away to, and you know what's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. For facts. So, do people really know what you do? Make it a point every week to drop a little nugget on them they ain't ready for. Blast them off with bam, like essence of emerald. Second rhetorical question. Do they even know why you do what you do? Do they think you do what you do for a paycheck? Or do you do it for another reason? When I was giving presentations, I would always have a picture up of me and my friend Harriet. My friend Harriet, she does high-end interior drapery.
Okay.
When's the last time you met a Black woman who did high-end interior drapery, which means queens? Do you know she used to do the drapery on Fifth Avenue of a lot of those stores in Madison Avenue? Did I say she was Black? I didn't even know we was in that. So I remember I went to Women's Empowerment Networking Group and she was presenting that day. She was a little nervous, a little scared. It was my first time being there. And I'm looking around and nobody else looks like us. I'm watching her with fascination. And she's from the islands, but there was something about drapery. We're not talking curtains, y'all. I said drapery. And just watching her and the love she talked about, like fabric and, you know, having this non-toxic type cleaning agents and how long it takes to do it. I was like, word? And then it occurred to me. I looked around and I said, this is a proper audience for her. Yeah. These women live on Fifth Avenue. These women live on the Upper East Side. They didn't even know she existed. Why did I put her in my Why did I put her in my presentations? Because I wanted people to know why I do what I do. That sister is so bomb, but she had no idea how to present herself. Got all this great knowledge, working with all these big companies, and the women in her group didn't even realize that they could utilize her. For facts, I do what I do because I don't want to see women sell themselves short when the opportunities are all around them. What happens when those big companies don't need you anymore, or we're in a pandemic and no one goes into those stores? Those very same women that she presented to now need her. For facts. So if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, how do you expect somebody else to know? Question number 3. When you approach people in sales, are you a helper or are you a nuisance? It depends on your language, right?
Right.
How are you approaching them? Are you coming at them the same way, wonk, 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 wonk? You could call, or you could use another method to get to them. How do you want to get to a gatekeeper? Do you do it through the phone, or do you do it through a LinkedIn message, or do you do it through something else? Think about that. I don't call because I already know I ain't getting nowhere. I'm Precious Williams. You would think I get halfway. No. I have a strategy always in place. How I'm gonna get to you. And you know what? Some of y'all, I'm gonna blow your mind right now. I'm about to blow. At least it blew my mind. You ever heard somebody tell you no over and over and over again? Your feelings is hurt. And people say, "Oh, it's business, not personal." Shoot, this is my livelihood. It's personal. You know what I started doing? I said, okay. My approach needs to be different. So every month, because at first it used to be every 2 weeks. Now I send out an email to my VIPs and I update them on the things that I'm doing in my world that they may not know about. So if they said no before, I ain't gonna keep asking you with the same email every month. Oh no, or the same message or the same phone call. Oh no, I'm gonna update you. Oh, did you know I spoke at NBC Universal? Oh, did you know that I'm doing a training for this mid-size global supply chain company? I'm doing the corporate training for them. So I'll be there 6 times a year, and this is some of the things I'll be working on. Oh, did you know that now I'm working with an international company? Now they intrigued now, because they're like, oh shoot, I blew her off because she was like a bum to me. Oh, I ain't no bum. I'm gonna keep coming at you. I'm gonna keep coming, because you know what? And I'm not gonna ask you every month. I'm just gonna give you my monthly update, just keeping you involved. Because when you really see me blow, you're not gonna be able to afford me. You see what I'm saying? Do you see why visibility trumps ability? There are a lot of able-bodied salespeople out here. But you know what? Can't nobody do it like you do. So when they tell you no, take it all in. Eat it up, y'all. Eat it up. Eat it up. Eat it up. But you know what? Come harder. Because they can't deny you. What did it say? It's impossible to stop a woman who will not quit. It's impossible. You saw that in the civil rights movement. You saw that in Black Lives Matter. You saw that in all of these groups. I'm not going to be stopped. It's listen, by bullet, by pen, which way we going to go? It's easy to write me that check, but you don't have to write it now. I'm going to keep coming. And with dogged pursuit, that no will turn into yes. You think I'm joking? All right. I got many stories of people who told me no, who be in my inbox like this. Precious, you know what? I'm like, oh yeah, word? Oh, you need me now? But I'm not gonna address the issue of how you said no for 2 years. I'm not even gonna address that, because you know what? Price then went up.
That's right.
Price of tea then went up. Okay, so finally,
yep.
When you're sending out those monthly recaps, it makes you feel good because you kept going no matter what. So again, now we're coming to the end of visibility trumps ability. I gave you 4 real things, you know, the main 2 in the beginning, and now the rhetorical questions at the very end. I hope that you can see from this, beyond the PowerPoint presentation, what's most important. Don't give up. And I used to watch WWE. Never look back and never think twice. Keep going. Utilize sisters in sales. They have women here you have not even met. You already see the best. You haven't seen the rest of the best.
Right.
So utilize us. Thank you. My name is Precious Williams, proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. Let me help you ignite your pitch and dominate your niche.
And so Precious, I know you've talked about system sales. We've got about 5 questions left.
Okay.
We have about 5 minutes that I want to take the questions. And then one of the questions asks, how do we get in contact with Precious? How do we get in contact with system sales? At the end of the webinar, we're going to give you those links and show you how to get in contact with everybody.
Yes.
So one of the questions that has come up is, how do you determine the difference between the no's that don't matter and when you just need to leave them be, and the ones that you want to keep updating and ones you want to keep putting energy on? So how do you differentiate between a no and a no, or are they all the same? I
wouldn't say all no's are the same. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I've been a professional speaker for 25 years. So I would say some things come with experience. Some things come with experience, and sometimes when you leave people alone and they see you shining and you don't send that update or anything, let's say people said no because they couldn't afford you, but they couldn't tell you that. You keep shining and being visible, it will shine a light in their heart when they're ready, when they financially have it. I'm gonna tell you, so many people have come back to me who were like, oh, I went with that guru, that big guru. I said, when you ran out of money, you didn't see them no more, right? Oh, okay. No problem. I'm right here and I'll hold your hand through the process. So I think it's something that comes with experience, and also, and I don't know how Sherilyn feels about this, it's okay to walk away from something that does not feel right.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know we've all taken money for things and wish to God we never had, because those are the worst when you're taking something for money. So think about this. If I can implore anything upon you, you're worth so much more than you're asking for. And when you take something for money, you'll earn every penny. Just like a woman who marries for money, you'll earn every penny. And I'm telling you, you'll earn it in a way you don't want it. So I don't have a rough figure, but I will say with repetition, you'll start to see patterns, and you'll know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. I think the bigger the dollar amount, and when you're dealing with companies, that's a different story. When you're dealing with individuals, you start to feel a rhythm of who you should rock with and who you should just be like, nah, I'm done with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So Christina says she's not like you, and she's introverted, but
I love it.
But how can she still be a great pitcher?
I'm so glad you asked that. Me and Sherilyn were talking about this yesterday. Working with me or any of the sisters in sales, we recognize that everybody is not the same. I'm loud, in your face, and gregarious, right? Ridiculous. But it takes a quiet storm to come through and cut through the noise of me. So so let's say you're the opposite of me. You're going to stand out too. I want you to be the best you. And that's what happens when you work with me. Or any of the sisters in sales. We're not trying to mold you into us. We're trying to mold you into the best version of who you are. So play to your strengths, not mine. I can't be a background chick, ever. I'm too loud. But if I'm going to be in the background, I'm going to play my position. And that's what you need to do. Play your position, and you play to win. It's those quiet storms that be like, I don't learn the lay of the land. While she over here talking a good game, I'm just going to weasel my way through, and I'm going right to the top. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So Nikki wants to know, how do you strike a balance between building relationships and asking and getting that direct ask?
Okay. Great question. And again, this is something that comes with experience. Yesterday I was, actually this morning I was talking to somebody, and they were like, how do you enter conversations? I said, because I don't care. I'll enter any conversation. I'll bulldoze my way through. Like, oh, what y'all talking about? Oh, shoot, I'm so happy to be here. What y'all talking about? Look like I want to be a part of the conversation. People just be like, all right, cool. She want to be down with the clique. Or just learning a rhythm, right? So I have been known to make a big ass and have met someone just once. Why? Because I found out, and I know y'all know this, Sherilyn, do you know this? Sometimes it's the associates that give you more love than the people you know.
True. Absolutely. Yeah.
So because they know that it can help you, and because you're not afraid to ask them, now they feel compelled, like, dang, she really came to me to ask. Okay, I'm thug it out for her. I got her. Okay. So just because you don't have this close relationship, the associates help me so much more than the people that I know. Why? Familiarity can sometimes breed contempt. People who do not know you but see you shining or see you grinding are like, I want to ride that train with her. I want to help her.
Okay. So Brianna has just a very simple question. She goes, how long is an elevator pitch? And so we
an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
That's
so
such a good question.
What are you talking about when you're talking about a pitch? How long is one?
So an elevator pitch usually is between 30 and I say like 90 seconds. So like, let's say you're on an elevator and you're going to like the 27th floor. It's really between 30 and 90 seconds. So, as soon as you enter an elevator, you may see something interesting, or let's say you're on a plane and you just go in, just start talking. And remember, it's a conversation if you're just with someone. It's still a pitch, but it's a conversational one. So you're never going to stand up like you do at a networking event. Hi, my name is... No, it's having a conversation. Being interested and curious about the other person will open up to them being curious about you. And then you start give it to them raw. Give it to them. Give them that juicy morsel so that they can, I want the meal. I want that morsel was good. Can I get the meal? Be like, hold up. Let me piecemeal it to you. You ready?
All right. That is awesome. So I think that, we have one last. So how do you get the courage to ask for what you want from a senior leader? So when you're asking up, when you're asking into the C-suite, when you're going in, you're asking for something, how do you get the courage to do that, Precious?
I have to be honest, game recognizes game. So if you go in with all confidence, go in with confidence. Not like, no, you go in, I deserve to be here. I'm going to look you in the eye. I'm going to give you my credentials, my talents, my skill sets, and my abilities, which is why you always have been on that humble brag tip. And I'm going to ask. And I'm going to go quiet on you because I want you to ponder that this is what confidence looks like. I'm not afraid of you. And I can always walk away. Why? Because we're sisters in sales and we write our own paychecks.
That's right. That's awesome, Precious. You have exceeded my expectations today. I was just so thrilled when I met you almost a year ago now. And so what I'd like to do here is people asked, where can I find out more about Sisters in Sales?
Drop it like it's hot on the Sharpen.
Where can I find out about Precious? So there's a couple things that you can do. One of them, if you have a smartphone, point your smartphone at this QR code and you will go to a landing page. And on the landing page, there is a link if you want to find out about Sisters in Sales. Sisters in Sales is a community of over 2,500 women of color. And so like Precious says, there are amazing women out there. There's a Slack channel. Sisters in Sales has our virtual summit coming up. This is a summit and registration is open. So if you want to register for our summit, it will be September 18th and 19th. The link for the registration is there. If you want to work with Precious, Precious's link is there. If you want to buy Precious's book, the link for that is there. And also, every single woman here is eligible for a free 1-hour coaching session with me. So if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to practice your pitch, if you want to, if you're new to sales, if you want to get to the next level, whatever it is, there's a link on here on this website where you can sign up to spend an hour with me. And again, I am committed, like Precious says, I am committed to helping the next generation of super women sellers and women executives. And so with that, again, there's one final thing that I'd like to ask you to do is I'd like to ask you to just give us your opinion here real quickly. There's a poll that I just put up. No, wrong one. Hold on a second. The final poll is, can you see that one now, Precious?
Yep.
Okay, so the final poll that I'd like to ask you is give us some feedback about this webinar today. Sisters in Sales does a webinar about every month, and we'd like to know, do you want to see more like this? Did you get value out of this? And if you want, also you can tell us here in this poll, if you want to join Sisters in Sales, you want Precious to be in touch with you, or if you want me to be in touch with you. So take a few minutes, please, and let us know what you thought about our webinar today. Also, you can go to this landing page. If you don't have a smartphone, the URL is here. It's SherylynCastleman.com/webinar/1. Precious, I'm going to give you the final few seconds here if there's anything else you want to say before we close.
Yes. Finally, ladies, thank you so much to Sisters in Sales for having me. Thank you so much for the books that will be provided to the women, the members here, and also to the ladies who asked questions. Finally, ladies, fortune favors the bold. This is not a time to shrink away. You came because visibility trumps ability. So be bold. Reach out to Sherilyn. She's giving a free hour session with her. You know that's the cost of money. Get up on that. And also with me, please consider purchasing my book and seeing what other services that I can provide for you. And please consider becoming a member of Sisters in Sales. It is inexpensive and the results are crazy good. If you like what you saw today, you'll like seeing what's coming in the future. And also, please consider purchasing a ticket to the big event that's in September. I'll be there. Hopefully I'll be there. Fortune favors the bold. Go bold.
That's right. That's right. Well, again, thank you, Precious. You are amazing. Thank you for being persistent. Thank you for just being so just fabulous. You are a queen. You are gorgeous. And I just love you. So thank you so much. And again, thank you to all the Sisters in Sales who joined us here today. And thank you to Chantel George, who founded Sisters in Sales and had this vision that this would happen. Everybody stay safe, stay well, stay sane. And I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.